Your husband drove to 3 stores last night, just for pickles, a very specific brand of pickles. He didn't question it. You didn't fully either. The craving hit like a command, not a request. Your body had a real reason for all of it, not a quirky pregnancy reason, an actual ancient scientific reason. Nobody tells you that part. Pregnancy cravings aren't the funny side story everyone treats them as. Most people spend 9 months laughing at them. Some spend 9 months Googling whether they're losing their minds entirely. The answer is always far more interesting than either option. Here's what happens when you actually understand them. That midnight pickle run was completely scientifically justified. The simplest explanation for cravings is also the most ignored. Your body knows when something critical is running low. Not in a gentle, polite way, in a loud, relentless, I will not stop way. Iron deficiency is the clearest example science has found. When your iron drops below a certain threshold, strange things begin happening. You start craving ice. Not water, not a smoothie. Actual ice by the cup, obsessively, without a clue why. Your partner watches you crunch your fourth full cup. They are saying nothing but thinking absolutely everything. This has a medical name. It's called pica. Pica is the compulsive craving for non-nutritive substances. Ice is the most common form reported during pregnancy. But pica gets genuinely strange when you look further back in history. Women across centuries have reported craving chalk, clay, and pencil erasers, not because they lost their judgment, because their body was identifying the closest available solution. Every one of those substances contained minerals that deficient bodies urgently needed. Researchers confirmed this pattern across multiple independent studies. Women in West Africa have consumed specific pregnancy clay for countless generations. Scientists examined that clay and found calcium and iron inside it. Your ancestors didn't read nutrition labels. They listened to their bodies instead. And those bodies were remarkably well informed. The craving was never the irrational part. It was always the solution. Now consider which part of your brain is actually running this. The limbic system. The oldest, most dramatic region you own. This area predates language, logic, and reasonable decision-making entirely. It does not weigh options or make pros and cons lists. It wants, and it communicates that want with extraordinary force. Here is where this gets genuinely surprising. The same brain region lights up in every addiction study ever run. Alcohol, sugar, nicotine, same exact neurological address. Pregnancy cravings produce nearly the same signature in brain scans. So when resisting feels physically, truly impossible right now, that assessment is accurate. You are not being dramatic. The mechanism behind addiction is literally driving your craving. Your pregnancy borrowed the strongest motivational system in your entire brain, not to punish you, because the stakes demanded the most powerful tool available. A developing human needed nutrients, and urgently. Your brain was not leaving that to willpower. Willpower is, evolutionarily speaking, a recent and deeply unreliable invention. The limbic system has been solving survival problems for millions of years. So your brain made a completely rational decision on your behalf. It chose the system that actually works every time. The urgency, the drive, the feeling of being taken over, all of it intentional. Every single bit of it was by design. Here is something that permanently changes how you think about dinner. Your baby has been tasting your food, not metaphorically, not symbolically, literally, directly, for real, through the amniotic fluid they have been living in this whole time. Every flavor molecule from your meals crosses into that fluid fast. Your baby swallows hundreds of milliliters of it every single day. They are in there forming opinions before they have a face to make them with. Researchers gave pregnant women garlic capsules and then tested the fluid. The fluid smelled like garlic. Those babies later showed a measurable preference for garlic-flavored foods. The same pattern appeared with carrot juice, anise, and vanilla. So when you finish an entire jar of pickles at midnight, consider this. Your baby is in there tasting those pickles alongside you. They are filing pickles under familiar and completely safe. The foods you crave right now are writing their flavor autobiography. before any high chair, before any conscious food choice is ever made by them. If you've been eating aggressively spiced food this whole pregnancy, congratulations. You may have just created a future hot sauce enthusiast. You are not just feeding yourself, you are shaping a small human's entire relationship with flavor that is either deeply meaningful or mildly terrifying. Probably both, depending on the day. Now for the most universally relatable pregnancy experience of all time. The great coffee betrayal. She used to need coffee like she needed oxygen. Strong, black, non-negotiable every single morning. Then pregnancy arrived and coffee became something else entirely. The same mug she loved now sends her fleeing the room at speed. She moved the coffee maker into the garage. Her partner thought this was genuinely unhinged behavior. They said nothing about it. Weeks of total coffee repulsion slowly passed. Then something shifted quietly in the second trimester. The craving came back, soft at first, then deeply insistent. Scientists puzzled over this exact reversal for years. Then a theory emerged from the research. Coffee contains compounds that interact with folate and specific B vitamins. In the earliest weeks, the fetus is at its most fragile point, so your body made coffee viscerally, completely revolting. No negotiation, no gentle nudge, full sensory rejection immediately and without apology. Then the fetus cleared that critical developmental window entirely. The suppression lifted silently without notifying you at all. One morning, coffee smelled like a solution again. Your body didn't change its mind randomly. Your body pushed a silent system update while you slept, running background corrections while you were just trying to survive the first trimester. That is not inconsistency. That is precision most technology cannot match. Here is the part that completely dismantles the pure biology argument. If cravings were entirely biological, they'd be universal. Same chemistry everywhere, same cravings everywhere. But that is not close to what the data actually shows. In the United States, sweet foods dominate pregnancy cravings entirely. Chocolate, ice cream, candy, the full American comfort lineup. In Japan, the pattern flips. Women there report savory and fermented cravings far more often. Miso, pickled vegetables, cold noodles. Comfort looks completely different there. In West Africa, cravings for mineral-rich soil persist consistently across generations. In India, sour and intensely spiced foods dominate the documented patterns. Same biology. Completely different cravings, replicated across multiple independent studies worldwide. They map almost exactly onto what each culture defines as comfort food. Your brain doesn't just scan your blood for deficiencies and place an order. It also opens a memory file labeled safe, warm, and okay. That file was written by your mother's kitchen, by your grandmother's recipes and her specific stove, by your earliest associations with being completely cared for. That weirdly specific, personal, inexplicable craving finally makes complete sense. Biology writes the first draft, memory edits it significantly, culture approves the final version. Somewhere in that collaboration, you're standing at the kitchen counter at 1 a.m., not out of control. Just thoroughly, completely, ancestrally human. Cravings have a shadow side that nobody discusses nearly enough. Aversions, the foods you suddenly cannot be anywhere near. Not even slightly random. Look at what pregnant women most commonly find unbearable. Meat, poultry, raw fish, and eggs. Every single one shares a defining characteristic. They are the foods most likely to carry harmful bacteria and pathogens. During pregnancy, your immune system is deliberately suppressed, not a malfunction in an intentional, necessary design choice. That suppression stops your body from attacking the fetus as foreign tissue, but it leaves you far more vulnerable to foodborne illness than usual, more vulnerable than at almost any other point in your adult life. So your body developed an ancient practical solution. It made those foods smell actively, physically threatening. Not just unappealing, Wrong in a way you cannot reason past. Your partner is eating leftover chicken in the next room. You have already relocated to a completely different floor. This is your immune system outsourcing security work to your nose, and the nose is doing an exceptional, ruthless job of it. The craving and the aversion are not opposites. They are two coordinated departments inside the same operation. One holds the door open for what your body needs, the other slams it shut on everything potentially dangerous. Both running simultaneously, both getting it right entirely without your input. There is one final layer that connects body and emotional state. Stress cravings during pregnancy are not about weak willpower. They are a documented, replicated finding in developmental psychology. Pregnant women under sustained stress report significantly more intense cravings. Not just more frequent, more overwhelming, more urgent, harder to resist. When cortisol rises, cravings for sweet and high-fat foods rise right alongside it. This is not a character flaw. This is a neurobiological response measured in actual labs. Think about what pregnancy genuinely demands from a body every single day. Every system is running harder than it ever has before. Hormones are completely rewriting the operating system from the inside out. Organs are physically shifting to accommodate a new human being. Sleep becomes something rationed like a scarce resource. Emotions arrive uninvited at completely unreasonable hours of the night. And through all of that, the body is still expected to function normally, so it reaches for the most accessible available source of relief. Comfort food triggers a brief, real, measurable serotonin lift. Dopamine spikes briefly and then settles gently back down. The body gets a few minutes of genuine chemical calm. Standing at the open refrigerator at 2 a.m., completely lost. Listen to that. That is not weakness dressed as a craving. That is exhaustion asking for one single moment of relief. Your body has been managing something enormous for months without stopping. It is asking, very reasonably, to be taken care of. In a season this demanding, that is completely allowed. You're not failing at self-control tonight. You're succeeding at honesty about what you genuinely need. So here's where you land after all of this. Your cravings are not random, irrational, or something to apologize for. They are a multi-department operation running with remarkable precision. One team scans your blood for deficiencies around the clock. Another activates your most powerful motivational circuits to make sure you respond. A third consults your personal memory archive for what comfort actually means to you. And then there's the fourth team, the one that surprises everyone. It takes direct requests from the small person currently living inside you. That small person already has opinions forming. They have already been tasting your world in there. What they taste right now is shaping who they will become later. Your midnight runs, your bizarre aversions, your total food reversals, all data. All of it is communication without a single word. You have been in a conversation this entire time. Sometimes that conversation looked like driving to 3 stores for a specific pickle brand. Sometimes it was fleeing the smell of chicken from an entirely different floor. Sometimes it was the kitchen floor at 1 a.m. eating something completely inexplicable. All of it was the conversation. All of it was your body doing its full job. And here is the punchline that makes all of it worth it. Your body was right the entire time. It just never had words to explain itself to you. Turns out it never needed them.